Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hey folks, welcome back to Calvin's Got Game. I'm Calvin, and what I do here on this channel is I do some video reviews of board games. I do some unboxing, some other things like that. Today I want to talk to you about a game called Betrayal at House on the Hill. Betrayal at House on the Hill is by Avalon Hill, and it is 3 to 6 players, plays in about an hour. I'm going to lay it out here on the table for you, show you kind of how it plays. I'm not going to go over every rule, but just show you kind of how to play it. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is Betrayal at House on the Hill. Everything out of the box. I got all the little tokens, the chits or whatever you want to call them, out here in little baggies. There is a lot of them. There's a lot of tokens for the haunt and things that you're going to use during that. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Lots of baggies of stuff there. This comes in Widow's Walk, which I do have Widow's Walk expansion in here with this. Widow's Walk is pretty neat. It's a great expansion for Betrayal at House on the Hill. We'll talk about it some other time, but these also come in that. So what you're going to have is you got events, items, and omens. You're going to pick a character. We have many characters here. We have Brandon, what is his name? Jaspers. And each character, if you can see on the card here, there's a green number that shows their starting value of what you're going to choose, and then you're going to go up and down from that, so that you're going to either gain more of one of those attributes or lose them. And if you ever get to the skull, you die. So we don't want to do that. That's a bad thing. You have 8 dice. We're going to set them off to the side. You have your little characters here. They're already painted little miniatures. Put the little ones up front here. They're already painted little miniatures, as you can see. You start out with these tiles here. These are black on the back. These are the landings. These represent each floor. You have the main floor. You have an upper landing. You have the basement, and you have the roof. The roof is actually for the Widow's Walk. So after you choose a character, you're going to start out in this room here. And I'm missing the little boy here. Hold on. I'm missing Brandon Jaspers. I can't do that. There's little Brandon Jaspers. He's always one of my favorite characters. I like playing with him. So you're going to start out in the entrance hall. And what you're going to do is you're going to move to the next deal. You'll have however movement is on your card. This says it has 4 speeds. So little Brandon Jaspers is going to get to go 4 spaces. So Brandon's going to go here. What we're going to do is we're going to look for a tile that says ground on it. These all say upper, ground, basement. Some of them say just upper and ground. Some of them say upper and basement. So you're going to look for a tile that goes to the section of the house you're going to. And what you're going to do is you're going to flip it, and you're going to place the tile with the doorway to doorway. Now this one doesn't have, I'll move these out of the way here. This one doesn't have an event or anything in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw another ground tile because you want to explore. You've only moved once. So we're going to move again. So here we go into the library. Library has, some of the cards have certain things on them that you can get or you have to do to get out of the rooms or whatever. And the library says once per game, if you end your turn here, you'll gain 1 knowledge, which will be important later on during the haunt roll. So what will happen is you'll draw an event, and this event card says closet door. The closet door is open, just a crack. There must be something inside. Put the closet token. This is where all these tokens come into play. You're going to put one of these tokens on here, and it'll be a closet token. And then depending on what you roll is what's going to be in the closet. You sometimes find tiles with an item symbol on it. Find an item symbol. Of course, when you want one, you can't find one. There we go. This is the item symbol on the card. This is the storeroom. You see an item. So in the item, you'll get to pick an item card. This happens to be the candle. The Candle says it makes the shadows move. At least you hope it's doing that. If you draw an event card, roll 1 additional dice. You'll read what's on it and do what's on it. You'll keep the item card. Unless you use the item sometimes, and you'll have to discard it. So, let's talk about omen cards. This little bird symbol here is the omen. Okay? So what will happen here is you'll draw an omen card. This says it's a girl, it's a companion. Okay? So what you get to do is you get to keep this omen card, and at the end of each card it says make a haunt roll. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a haunt roll. You'll take 6 dice, and you have to roll 6 dice, and you have to get at least 1. And these dice have blanks, 2s, and 1s. So there's only 1 omen out right now. You at least have to roll 1 out of 6 dice. So you get all 6 dice, you roll them. Well, I got 5, so there's no haunt. And what will happen is everybody will keep exploring, and you really want to explore the house as much as you can before the haunt, because some of the haunts have things where you have to find a certain room, get a certain thing out of a room. So it's really important to have those rooms, the landings, your basement explored, the upper landing explored, and if you're playing with Widow's Walk, the roof landing. So you really want to explore the house as much as you can, and each one of these sections will be off to the side, and you'll be placing, this is a basement tile, upper and grand, this is the Mystic Elevator, which is great because if you draw it for the basement, if you fall into the basement, there's no way to get out unless you find the stairs or the Mystic Elevator. You're just trapped down there until you can get out. So that's basically what you're doing through the whole game, and once the haunt roll happens, once the haunt is revealed, whatever room you're in and whatever omen was just drawn, that's what's going to discuss the haunt. You have the trader book. There's 50 different scenarios in here, and I still haven't played them all. And if you get Widow's Walk, there's another 50, so you got 100 different endings to this game. And you also have the survival guide. So while the trader's reading the trader guide, the survivors are reading the survival guide for the same scenario. And the scenario list is listed in here, and it's going to tell you have a chart with what omen card, what omen card and what room, and then it'll tell you exactly what scenario you're supposed to be reading. Can you see all this good? Okay. So I want to make sure we're getting that. And then you'll just turn to the scenario page. Say you're doing the voodoo, page 25. So you'll turn to page 25. You'll go into a separate room and read it as the trader. And you'll go to 25 here, and it'll still be voodoo in the survival guide. And you'll read what you have to do to try to keep the trader from doing their mess. So that's basically how to play the board. You just keep building it out until the haunt roll starts, and then you have a trader. You got to figure out why the trader is betraying you. You got to figure out what you got to do in it and how to stop them from doing whatever evil or bad thing they're trying to do. If you'll stick around, I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts on Betrayal House on the Hill. Hey guys, what do I think about Betrayal House on the Hill? I'm going to give you a little insight. Betrayal House on the Hill was the board game that got me back into gaming after a long time. I have a special place in my heart for this game. Let's talk a little bit about the components. These little miniatures are pretty good. They're painted. They're ready to go. I mean, look at them. Aren't they cute? So they're already pre-painted. They're great. So I like those very much. They're good and sturdy. I like the room tiles. The room tiles are nice and sturdy. So are the landings. The cards are made out of pretty good cardstock. You know, they got that little I don't know how to say it, but they're not just paper. They have a little bit of almost fabric-like to them. You know, they're really good. Your character cards are good. The only problem I have with the character cards is the little pieces that slip on them. These little things here They just don't stay on very well. They like to, well, this one does right now, but they usually don't stay on very well. You'll have some that are too wide or something and they just slide all over the place. That is one of the things I don't like about it. But if you have a problem with that, don't let that stop you from buying the game, because there's apps on online that you could do the characters on your iPhone or your Android device. So that's not a big deal. The dice are nice. They're fine. The scenarios are really good. Sometimes they're a little quirky, but they're really good. Guys, I think Avalon Hill did a great job with this game, and I must tell you that I enjoy playing it with Widow's Walk, the second edition, or the expansion to it. That's probably the only game I own an expansion to, because I wanted more of a Betrayal at House on the Hill. And I'd like to see more from Betrayal at House on the Hill. I know Widow's Walk just came out not too long ago. But let me tell you, I would love to see maybe, I don't know, an observatory or a greenhouse or something out that we can get to and have another expansion for Betrayal at House on the Hill. This game is awesome. The game is always changing. The house changes every single time. Yeah, you might get to see the same cards from events over and over again, but the scenarios, at 50 different scenarios straight out of the box. I don't know of any other game that has that many endings. There might be some out there, but to me, the replayability of this game is awesome. I played 3 games of it with some friends this week, and we never had the same ending, and the house was always different. Guys, if you're looking for a fun game, Betrayal at House on the Hill, you can't go wrong. Check it out, and I tell you what, get out a board game day. If you don't go out and get Betrayal at House on the Hill, get a board game out, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, sit around the table talking, having a good time. That's what board games do, is they bring people together. Thanks for watching Calvin's Got Game, and I'll see you next time.